What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome back to the Dapper Snapper Gaming channel. Now, today we are going to be actually covering 4 pages in our competitive decks, and they're all connected by one simple thing, and that is the returning Alolan forms that have now been added back into our decks thanks to Pokemon Home, and I hope you guys are excited for them. Now, the reason we're covering all 4 of them in one video and not spreading them all out is because, let's be honest, they're really not all that good. One of them is okay, and the other 3 are pretty bad. So we're just gonna go ahead and knock all 4 out in one video, and it's gonna be fine. We're gonna talk about all of these and how we can possibly use them in this metagame, and yeah, it's gonna be cool. So we're gonna start with Fabio himself. Well, Fabio themselves, I guess, because there's 3 of them. Alolan Dugtrio. Now, this Mon, it has all of the makings to be a good Mon, you know? It's really fast at base 110. It's got an okay ability in Tangling Hair. You know, Sand Force is also a thing that you could do if you're in Sandstorm. You know, it's got base 100 attack, which isn't the worst. So what makes this thing so bad? Well, it has the same base 35 HP that its normal counterpart comes with. It's got 10 points higher defense than its Cantonian counterpart. That's cool. Same special defense, but it's 10 points slower than its Cantonian counterpart. Why? Why is it slower? Why is it not base 120 like the other one? I don't know. I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they chose to do that. So there's that. Then there's the fact that Steel, in my opinion, I feel like Steel makes it weaker than it is stronger. I think it gives it more weaknesses to more common threats. And this thing's paper thin anyway, so it's super easy to kill. And just giving it more weaknesses is not a good thing. Yeah, this thing's just not good. But anyway, this is a way that you can use it, and that is a suicide lead. Very similar to regular Dugtrio, but just, you know, not as good. So basically what you've got here is you've got Stealth Rocks to set up, you've got Earthquake for damage, and Sucker Punch for that priority damage if you need that, and then you've got Memento. If you can bring this in and go for Memento and set up with something in the back, this thing could actually do a little bit of work. But in my opinion, it is inferior in every way to regular Dugtrio, so I don't see any reason to use this over the other one, but it's up to you. This is a meme, and you know, he's appropriately named meme, and I think that that is exactly what he is there for, but I don't think he carries anything over regular Dugtrio. Now, Ninetales. Ninetales is actually a viable Pokemon. However, I don't think that he is anything too crazy strong. The biggest thing is that he is so frail as well, with base 73 HP, base 75 defense, and base 100 special defense. It's not terribly weak. It's definitely not as frail as other things that we've seen. However, this thing does find itself being awfully one-dimensional, and it basically comes in, sets up Aurora Veil, and then just kind of dies. So it is tough because that's basically all this thing does. But Aurora Veil is a thing, and it's super fast at base 109 speed, and being able to set up that Aurora Veil with base 109 speed is super handy, and it's great. It makes this thing have some use. It also gets access to Freeze Dry, so this thing is not walled by water types. It gets access to Moonblast, which is a strong special stab move, and it also gets access to things like Dark Pulse. What else? Extra Sensory, probably not going to use that. Let's see what else. Psyshock, maybe, probably not. Yeah, I think the set that we've got is probably its best if you're running Aurora Veil with 3 attacks. You know, Blizzard is there for the extra hard-hitting damage, and then you've got Freeze Dry for those pesky water types. I think that this is a really cool set to run on this, and I think this thing can put in some work. You also can run Sub Nasty Plot on this as well, and Alolan Ninetales very much appreciates heavy-duty boots in this generation. That is something I forgot to mention. Also, we're going to change that to Snow Warning because this thing sets up Hail, and that's what makes this thing useful. Being able to set up the hail, 100% accurate blizzards is nice, but this thing can run a sub nasty plot set with freeze dry and moonblast if you would like to run a more offensive set, not really worrying about the Aurora Veil all that much, and just making this more of a one-man show rather than that of a support Pokemon for the rest of your team. It's up to you, but I think both of them actually have some use there. No meme for this mon, actually, but we've got plenty of memes for the rest of them. Speaking of memes, Alolan Persian, this thing's entire existence is a meme. This thing is not good. So, first of all, its stats, base 65 HP, bad. Base 60 attack, bad. Base 60 defense, bad. 75 special attack, bad. Special defense, bad. Good speed. Speed is its only good stat. So it's really, really rough. Now, what it does have going for it is Parting Shot. Now, Parting Shot will lower the opponent's attack and special attack by 1 stage, and you switch out as if you're using something like U-Turn. That is something that is really nice on this mon. It also gets access to Knockoff. It gets access to like quite a few good moves. It just doesn't have the stats to back it up, which is what's really unfortunate. So yeah, its special attack is higher than its physical attack, but I think its physical move pool is better. You know, it gets access to Knockoff. It gets Gunk Shot for fairies that might want to come in on it. It gets Play Rough, which is really cool for fighting types that would want to switch in on it. Gets Seed Bomb for things such as Seismitoad, Shadow Claw. I mean, this thing gets good coverage. It also gets Switcheroo if you wanted to switch a choice item. It gets Taunt. It's got really good moves. It's just got really bad stats, and so it's tough. So this thing could run a physical set as well. You could run something like, let's see here. We could run Gunk Shot, we could run Knockoff, and then we could run Play Rough just for coverage, and I still think Parting Shot is really nice here. And you could run Choice Band or a Choice Scarf, or you could just run something else. You could run a Life Orb. Parting Shot does not take your Life Orb up, and yeah, you could run that as well. I think these moves are better, but just the stats, they're just not there. It's just rough. Anyway, we're moving on. This thing's not great. It's fine. You know, Fur Coat's a good ability. Just straight up doubles your defense, so that helps your physical defense, but it's not enough. Anyway, we're moving on to Alolan Raichu. Alolan Raichu is also really, really fast at base 110, and at least has base 95 special attack, which isn't garbage. It's not the best, but it's also not the worst. This thing is also pretty frail at base 50 defense and base 60 HP. It has a 85 attack, not too much lower than its special attack, but, still not good, and base 85 special defense. The psychic typing, I think, gives it a little more weaknesses, especially now that Ghost is so prominent in this generation. This thing is really, really going to struggle, and it's really not great against Ghosts. Yeah, this thing doesn't get Shadow Ball. So, yeah, it gets Knockoff, but that's it. So yeah, he can't really deal with Ghosts, which are literally everywhere. He can't deal with Sucker Punch, so most Cinderaces are going to beat this 1v1. Yeah, this thing's just not good. But, you can run this with a Pincurchin and get your Surge Surfer off if you'd like to. Or this thing honestly is fast enough to really not need it. So, I mean, that's pretty cool too. But you can run a Nasty Plot set with T-Bolt, Psyshock, and Focus Blast. Now, I do also think you should consider Grass Knot, and that is for things like Excadrill. So Excadrill is a thing that could come in, and if you have your Electric Terrain up with Pincurchin setting that up for you, and you're going to be faster than it in Sand. So that is something to keep in mind. You never know. You could have that instead of Focus Blast. So that's a thing you can do. This thing also gets Surf for ground types, which is pretty cool. And it gets Volt Switch, so also an option. If you just want to pivot out and around, it's there for you. All right, final meme of the day. We've got Agility Electro Ball. You gotta know, when we're picking something this fast and it gets agility, you gotta go with the Agility Electro Ball. We also have Nuzzle and Volt Switch on this set. So basically, you bring this in a few times and just click Volt Switch every time, and you're just wearing down the team. And once they get a little bit low, you set that agility up and you just start clicking Electro Ball, and you're going to start just chunking stuff. Now, Electro Ball admittedly isn't all that great, you know, because it's Electro Ball, but if you get up a couple of agilities, you're going to start doing some big damage, especially against slower stuff. This straight up OHKO's like literally everything on a Trick Room team. But, you know, it's pretty cool. I think you should try it out. I think it's a meme. It's not that great, but it's cool. It's interesting. Anyway, that is going to be all for today's video. Make sure you guys go down there and like and subscribe. We are a new channel and we are just getting started, and I love meeting all of you in the comments down below. But anyway, that is going to be all our wrap up for the Alolan forms. Not too in depth, just because, you know, you're really not going to see them all that much because they're just not very good, but it's fine. It's okay. They're special too, right? They're special in somebody's heart, just not mine. But anyway, we will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.